Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I am going to be propagating some of my Monstera Adansonii. It's getting kind of out of hand. So I will be showing you how I do that, and I will videotape all the steps so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. And then at the end, I will show you some cuttings that I have already propagated and we'll pot them up together. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys could like and subscribe, and if you guys could watch this video all the way through, that really helps me out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get into it. So here is my Monstera plant. I'm gonna be staking some of these branches up that have kind of like fallen down and taking a couple cuttings. So I'm just using some of these Velcro tape. You can get it in garden section. It's like, I think it's actually for tomato plants, but it's really convenient for houseplants. And then you just cut it to the length that you want, and you just stake up the plants. So right here is kind of a branch that has fallen off the pole, and so I will just cut here. And there you go. And I'll take a couple more cuttings. Right here. Okay, so there's this other branch that had fallen down, and I didn't realize it was like growing on the floor, so it was getting like zero sunlight. Obviously wasn't getting very much sunlight, and that's why the leaves are so small. And the internodal spacings are so long. That's a word for you. I will cut right here. Oh man, I have a lot of cuttings. Okay, let's be done with that. So I will just stake up some of the rest of the plant, make it a little, see, like this chunk's kind of hanging, so I will stake that up and yeah, go from there. Hey guys. So, you have just seen me cut up my Monstera plant. So I have some fresh cuttings here. Kind of crazy. These are two cuttings, they're just tangled. It's crazy that these are from the same plant. So, like, this vine is so thin. And and then this vine, and that's just crazy. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut these up a little bit more. So what you want, well, what I want, when I cut up vining plants like this, I want the node, which is this piece right here where these bumps are. Those are starting to be aerial roots, which will turn into water roots, which will turn into regular roots and grow a new plant. So you want the node, and you want a little bit of space on each side just in case if it starts to rot, and you can catch it and cut it. And then ideally you'll have a leaf. Some people don't use leaves like this. It's called a wet stick. This has a higher chance of loss because it doesn't have a leaf to photosynthesize. So yeah, it's really up to the person, but I tend to do better when there's a leaf there. I have more success with rooting when there's a leaf. So I will just cut the rest of this up. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so I got quite a few leaf cuttings here with the nodes. Oh, there's some of the smaller ones. So I'll just lay those on the side. I will stick those in water. You could do sphagnum moss, you could stick them right in soil, but for this kind of plant, Monstera, I do Monstera Adansonii. It goes better for me if I just stick it right into water and then go from there. I have less loss that way. And I do have quite a few just single nodes here. So I will stick these in just sphagnum moss because at this point, if they die, they die, and you know, that's okay. It's not 100% guaranteed that your plants will grow, but this is the method I use and it works well for me. So I do have some already rooted. They look kind of gross and neglected because I did neglect them. But I just stuck these in a jar and then I put them into my prop box, which is filled with sphagnum moss. So I just kind of stuck this in the corner because if you ever do a prop box, to keep the humidity up in there, it does do better if you have like a jar or something with water in it. And obviously if you're putting a jar in there, you might as well put plants in the jar. So that's what I did. Yeah, and I have a couple other plants in here, but majority of these are Monstera Adansonii here, and I'm gonna do it without spilling. You can kind of see the roots there. These have been in water for quite a while. Sorry, side note, I put this peperomia in here probably 3 days ago and it already has roots. Can you see that? If I stop shaking, there's a little root growing already. See, and like I said, this is not 100% guaranteed. Let me lift this up so we don't. Okay, so I've had these in water for over a month. And they have all, well, the majority of them have grown roots and started pushing out new leaves. So you can see the new roots here. They're kind of dripping everywhere. I hope you can see this. Let me find a good one here. Okay, so right here is the leaf, and here is the node where the roots have grown from, and here is the new growth point. So this, in a couple weeks, will be a new leaf here, and yeah. So these are the cuttings I'm gonna be potting out today, but two, like I said, it's not 100% guaranteed. So this plant, this cutting, so this cutting was in the same jar for the same amount of time, cut the same day, and it has not rotten, but it has not grown. So you see how the leaf is all shriveled up and dehydrated and starting to yellow. And the node here has no growth. Sometimes this just happens. There's not a, it's like I said, it's not 100% guaranteed. So this I'll stick back in water, but the likelihood of it actually growing at this point is pretty low since it is so dehydrated. Yeah, but I don't even know how many cuttings I took that day, but the majority of them that I stuck straight in water have grown. Yeah, so here's another example of the roots. And so here's another example of a cutting with the roots and the new growth point, and the original leaf is still intact. Sometimes the original leaf will yellow and die, but that's okay. As long as the node is still there. See, here's one that's been in the prop box the same amount of time, and it only has one little root, and the new growth point is barely there, but it is coming. Here's another one. Okay, so here's an example of this. Okay, so this was a one leaf node cutting I took at the same time, and the original leaf had rotted off, but the node is still intact, and it has started to grow a new leaf and roots. So yeah, and here's another example. This leaf is fine. It is not dehydrated at all. It is kind of yellow, but it is not dehydrated, and it has no roots and no new growth point. So, you know, some take right away and some don't, and that's just... So I am going to be potting these up into leca. If you don't know what leca is, it is just here. I'll show you up close without spilling it. So it is just like clay balls. Some people call them leca balls, but it's just leca. That's just what it's called. So it is like a sustainable potting medium, and it doesn't break down. And well, it does break down, but like years and years and years and years and years. So it is much more sustainable than just regular soil or, you know, perlite and all that stuff. For me, it works better to be able to control the roots, and, you know, if something's starting to rot, I can see it right away. And it's just, in the last year, it's just been safer for me to use leca. Yeah, so I just have a self-watering pot here that I will show you how I haven't used this brand before, but I mean, it has to be, you know, pretty simple. So it comes with these three parts. It comes with the outer pot, or the catch pot or whatever you want to call it, and then the inside pot where you actually put your plant, and then below here is where it sucks up the water. I don't know if I can show you. Down there is where the drainage holes are that suck up the water, and then you have this. I'm not sure exactly what this is called. It is kind of an uglier, it doesn't look as nice as some of the other pots that I got, self-watering pots that I have. I'm not really sure what this dial is like here on the top. Okay, so it is just a tube that has a flotation device at the bottom, and then there's a red straw in here that will go up to the top. You know, it says max here, that's like max water, and that'll go up and down to show you when you need to refill the reservoir. So that's kind of nice, but it definitely doesn't look as nice as some of my other ones, but that's okay. Two, something I didn't mention about the LECA is some people will, well, you should always wash your LECA first. If it's straight out of the bag, I just scoop it up into one of these pots or anything with a drainage hole, or, you know, spaghetti strainer or anything like that, and you just grab anything and you soak the LECA with water. You know, it's very dusty when it comes out of the bag, so just try to get all of that excess dirt off or dust off and go from there. And that's all I do. If I'm reusing LECA, so let's say I've had a plant in LECA for 6 months and it needs to be readjusted, I will just use new LECA and then take the already used LECA and I will boil it. Not very long, like 5-10 minutes, that's good enough, and go from there, because I just want, you know, if there's anything harmful stuck to the LECA, I want to kill it and not transfer it to another plant and just make sure it's extra clean. So that's what I do for that. But if it's straight out of the bag, I just rinse it down, and that seems to do just fine. Okay. Stop rambling and let's get into the potting. I just have like, whatever that's called for turkey baking. I don't know. It works fine. You know, the LECA doesn't get everywhere, and so I have the LECA about like halfway in the bottom here already. I think I want to add some more to it. So I'm just taking the plants and gonna set them right in here on top of the LECA that's already there. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so here it is. You can see that I have some of the new growth points that are a little bit larger sticking out, so they don't have to push through the LECA as much. Different type of self-watering. It just has the bottom catch tray or catch pot or whatever you want to call it, and then you just stick the plant inside of there. This normally has a wick in the bottom, but the wick is gone, so we'll just see how it goes without the wick. Okay, so here is the plant with the new growth point, and I will just stick it right into the pot. And that's it. Okay, so I will get these guys a drink, but that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of how I propagate my Monstera Adansonii. This is a super easy propagator. Like I said, you just have to stick it in water. I do suggest waiting a little while, like these ones that I just cut today. I still have it stuck in water because I'm just kind of trying to let the ends callus over so they are less likely to suck up water and rot. Yeah. Okay, well, I hope this wasn't too much of a rambly video. Yeah, if you guys could like and subscribe, that really helps me out. And if you made it to this point, you have watched the rest of the video. Sorry, I'm just laughing at myself because I'm like about to do finger guns again. Like, I just don't I just don't know what it is. Like, I'm just sitting here talking to nobody, and I just get the urge to do finger guns. So, yeah. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll probably be doing a couple repot with me's or kind of stuff like this for a little while. But if you have any suggestions, sorry, can't talk. If you have any suggestions for any videos or anything that you would like to know or see from me, just let me know. And thank you for everybody that subscribed after my last video. I got like 5 new subscribers, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. All right, we will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.